once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only peach. So maybe you're from the state of Georgia. Maybe someone during your lifetime has called you a peach. Maybe you love peaches, maybe you hate them. Whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the peach. But first up, a little bit of background information. The peach most likely originated from China. Now, all this time, I assumed that all peaches were from Georgia. How wrong was I? Also, China is the largest producer of the peach, growing over half of the peaches throughout the entire world. Interesting. Peaches are in the same family as the cherry, apricot, almond, and plum. Who knew? Also, there are three basic varieties of peaches. We have freestone, in which the peach pulp does not cling to the hull. We have clingstone, where the inner pulp holds tight to the hull, and the less well-known flat or Saturn peach, also sometimes referred to as the donut peach, right? Take a look at the picture. The Saturn peach is flatter and less fuzzy than standard peaches. So, maybe I should start eating more Saturn peaches. Why? Because they resemble donuts. And you guys know Coach D loves donuts. So there we have it, guys. Just a little bit of background information about the one and only peach. All right, guys, now it's time for a few fun facts. A common question people have about peaches is, are peaches similar to nectarines? The answer, believe it or not, is yes. Actually, peaches and nectarines are identical fruits. Genetically, save one genetic allele that causes nectarines to have a smooth, fuzz-free peel. Nectarines are not, as some people believe, a cross between a peach and a plum. In the mid-90s, Georgia, good old Georgia, was dubbed the Peach State and holds many peach-related celebrations, including the creation of the world's largest peach cobbler, which is made every year at the Georgia Peach Festival. So, what this tells me, and Lord knows I love peach cobbler, is that not only do I need to find out when the Georgia Peach Festival is, I need to go. So there we have it, guys. A few fun facts about the one and only peach. All right, it's time for the not so fun facts. While peach nutrition is an excellent addition to your diet, it's possible to have an allergy to peaches or other similar fruits. The usually mild reaction most people experience is known as oral allergy syndrome and is often treated by no longer eating the offending food and managing the allergy like a seasonal allergy such as pollen. As a fruit, peaches probably should be consumed earlier in the day rather than later because of the way the sugar content in them is processed. At least one study found a correlation between nighttime peach consumption and a higher BMI and body weight. Interesting. So take a look at the picture. Now, as you can see, if you do experience the oral allergy syndrome, you may have symptoms such as tingling lips and an itchy mouth. Now, as this diagram is telling us that this oral allergy syndrome can be treated with an over-the-counter antihistamine. But ladies and gentlemen, you know that the 23% challenge is all about getting closer to nature, right? So we're going to do away with any type of over-the-counter medication that may or may not do its job, right? So rather than pop a pill, how about we just not eat the peach, right? Let's keep it natural 100%. So those are the not so fun facts about the one and only peach. All right, guys, let's dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. That's right, guys. Basically, it helps us to understand and read a food label. right? Ultimately, it's a guide. Nice. Also, when we talk about the 520 rule, we got to talk about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it's divided into 3 parts. 1 part lavender, 1 part yellow, 1 part blue. First, let's go over the lavender portion. The lavender portion, entitled percent daily value, is basically represented by percentages. Now, these percentages can be as low as 0 to as high as 100%, right? The lower end of the scale, not so good. The higher end of the scale, much, much better. Now, let's take a look at the yellow portion. Now, the reason why these nutrients, such as total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium are highlighted in yellow is because when these nutrients are in the body at very high percentages, they do a really good job at promoting disease and sickness within your body temple. Next, when we talk about the nutrients that are highlighted in blue, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals, well, these nutrients we want to be at the higher end of the scale, as close to 100% as possible. Why? Because these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease and sickness and illness, they promote health, they promote total wellness within the body temple. Now, let's be a little more specific when we talk about the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, if a food item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food item or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV, then guess what? That food item is a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or higher, then that food item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, now it's time to talk about the nutrition facts, right? In other words, what nutrients are we putting in our bodies when we eat a peach? Now, for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving of peach is 1 medium-sized peach. Now, let's talk about it. If you eat a medium-sized peach, you're going to put 59 calories in your body, 14 grams of carbs, 1.4 grams of protein. And who knew peaches had protein? Interesting. Only 0.4 grams of fat, and look at this, 2.3 grams of fiber. Now, I gotta say this, that when you eat your peaches, please, I'm begging you, eat the skin. That's right, fur and all. Why? Because that's where the majority of the fiber is located. Also, it offers vitamin C, 16% DV, so it's a good source of vitamin C. Vitamin A comes in at 9% DV, not a good source. Potassium comes in at only 8% DV, not a good source. Magnesium comes in at 3% DV, not a good source. And lastly is iron coming in at 2% DV, not a good source. Now, some of you may be a little disheartened to find this out. Well, here's what you got to remember. This is based on a single serving, a single medium-sized peach. So if you want to get more vitamin A, potassium, magnesium, and iron, guess what you should do? Eat another peach. It's just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. So there we have it, the nutrition facts about peaches. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. Now, before we dive into the health benefits, let's quickly talk about something. It happens to be called the principle of cause and effect. Now, some of us may know this as one of these 7 Hermetic principles, right? Basically, the principle of cause and effect basically states that every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. Now, that being said, we got to talk about these health benefits, which basically are the effects. The causes are, believe it or not, the nutrients that we just went over. So I want to go health benefit by health benefit, and I also want to let you know which phytonutrients are responsible for those health benefits. So first up is peaches combat free radicals. Now, for those of us who know nothing about free radicals, well, those are dangerous, very highly reactive particles in the body that do a lot of damage. As a matter of fact, they cause cancer, heart disease, and they make you age faster. That's right. So by eating a peach, but specifically caffeic acid, which is the phytonutrient in the peach, it helps to combat free radicals. In other words, it helps to deactivate them. It helps to stabilize them. Next up, peaches fight and prevent cancer. That's right. So for those of us who are looking for the cure for cancer, it's easy. Eat more peaches. But here's the thing you got to know, is that peaches contain polyphenols and caffeic acid, right? So basically, peaches contain medicine, right? So guys, that's why it's important to eat more plants. Why? Because they're full of medicine. Next up, peaches prevent dangerous heart-related conditions. Now, which phytonutrients are responsible for that? Well, give a big thank you to the bioflavonoids. Next up, peaches reduce inflammation. Peaches treat gut disorders. Peaches destroy candida fungus. Now the question is, which phytonutrients destroy candida fungus? Well, say hello to polyphenols, bioflavonoids, and tannins. That's right, guys, tannins. Also, peaches support healthy eyes, say thank you to lutein, and they may boost immunity. Now, there's a special phytonutrient. It has the name of latreo or latreo, however you want to pronounce it. So there you have it, guys, the health benefits about the one and only peach. All right, now it's time to talk about food, but specifically vegan food. Nice. As always, I went to my website for everything vegan. Yes, forksoverknives.com is back. And I punched in the word peach, and look at what I found. 2 amazing vegan peach recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Easy Vegan Peach Cobbler. Take a look at the picture. It looks amazing. Take a look at the second recipe, Blackberry-Peach Cobbler. As you can see, Coach D loves cobblers. Now, here's the thing. If you love cobbler as much as I do, then please go to the description box and click on the links. I am providing you with a direct link to each recipe. Now, here's the good part, is that when you get there, you're going to find a lot of information, such as cooking time, the instructions, and a complete ingredient list. So, if you like cobbler as much as I do, then go ahead, click on the link, make the dish, taste the dish, and then come back to the video to let me know exactly how it was. So, once again, not one but 2 amazing vegan peach recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the recipes. Coach D, thanks for the fun facts and the not so fun facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more peaches, right? Well, if that's your question, then the answer, and the only and best answer, is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Yes, good old Nature Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock. Maybe you've never heard of Coach D before, right? It's okay. Guys, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program. It's designed to help improve your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Oh, and by the way, it also helps to save good old planet Earth. That's right, in only 7 days. Now, here's the interesting thing about the challenge. It's that it's the first 7 days of every single month. That's right, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's what you got to remember. Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, which simply means Nature Day is the first day of every month. So whether it's April 1st, May 1st, or November 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now, maybe you are intrigued. Maybe you want to learn more about Nature Day. Maybe you're the type of person who is considering transitioning to a more whole food plant-based diet. Or maybe you're the type of person who's stricken with the big four. Maybe you're obese. Maybe you have heart disease. Maybe you have cancer. Maybe you have diabetes. Or maybe, just maybe, you're experiencing erectile dysfunction. Maybe you have bad acne, right? Or maybe you're dealing with some type of mental illness, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to help make your transition a little easier. That's right. So today I want to introduce you to a 3% vegan, a 13% vegan, and maybe even a 23% vegan. So now the question is, what are those? Well, let's first start with a 3% vegan. Guys, a 3% vegan is anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only one day out of an entire month. Next up is a 13% vegan. Is anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 4 days out of an entire month. Now, there are two ways in which you can go about this. It could be the first 4 days of the month, or you could do 1 day per week. I'll leave it up to you. And lastly is a 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. Now, what is a 23% vegan? Well, it's me only eating from the 5 food groups of plant foods the first 7 days of every single month. So now the question is, what in the world are the 5 food groups of plant foods? Well, it's easy. All fruits, all vegetables and herbs, all legumes, meaning beans and peas, all whole grains, and let's not forget about good old nuts and seeds. And of course, I only drink water. That's right, guys. No alcohol, no energy drinks, no fruit juices, no coffee, and definitely no milk. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ins and outs about Nature Day. All right. Now, because I want your Nature Day to be successful, whether you choose to be a 3%, 13%, or 22% vegan, I want to offer you a few tips. I want to offer you some advice to make your Nature Day successful. Tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're only going to go to 2 places. Number 1 is going to be the produce section, and number 2 is going to be the freezer aisle. Why the produce section? Well, because that's where all of the fresh plant foods are located. Why the freezer aisle? Well, because that's where all the frozen plant foods are located. Now, some of you may have a question. Which is better, fresh or frozen plant foods? Well, believe it or not, the nutrient content of both options are pretty comparable to one another. That's right, so don't feel as though you're losing out on any of the nutrients. Next up, go visit a local farmer's market. This is especially great for people who prefer organic plant foods. Why? Because the owners of farmers markets only cater to the organic market. That's right. Here's another advantage, is that the food is usually grown locally. So that means there's less transportation for the fruits and vegetables, right? In all plant foods. So what that means is that there could possibly be a savings from the farmer to you, the end consumer. Next up, go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. Now, depending on your grocery store, they may term it the kitchen. Whatever the name is, walk on over there. Talk to the person behind the counter and ask them if they have any vegan, notice I said the word vegan, not vegetarian, options. Trust me, there is a big difference between vegan and vegetarian. I'll get into the differences a little later. But as for now, ask them if they have any vegan options. Do a quick sample. Now, if you like it, and I hope you do, either purchase the food by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds if you really, really like it. And lastly, go eat at a vegan restaurant. Now, there are lots and lots of vegan restaurants around town. If you don't know where any are, just do a quick Google search, vegan restaurants near me, and within less than half of a second, Google will give you your desired results. Now, yes, it is definitely time for us to support the vegan community by eating at a vegan restaurant, and I'll tell you one really great reason to go. Vegan restaurants hire vegan chefs who know exactly which plant foods to combine to give you the most delicious, nutritious dishes. So ladies and gentlemen, please adhere to these 4 tips. Why? Because I want your Nature Day to be successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, and it comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know, in the mid-90s, which state was dubbed the Peach State? Now, I believe I covered that earlier in the video, so if you missed it, if you didn't quite catch it, please rewind and write your answer in the comment box below. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please like, subscribe, and share the video, especially if you love peaches. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never, ever forget that Coach D loves you.